Hey everyone, welcome to Shadow Work Sunday. If you're new here, this is a space where I share what I'm actively working through in my own healing, not as, someone who's got it all figured out, but as a guide. So I shared from my own lived experience, reflections, awareness. Okay, so remember just to take what resonates and leave the rest. And as always, always use your own discernment. So, shadow work sun exists because growth isn't linear, right? Healing doesn't move on a clean timeline, and not every season comes with immediate clarity. And I have this quote that I want to talk about, and it's a Jung quote. So, Carl Jung, and he said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." And that hit me today. And sometimes that darkness doesn't resolve on command, right? So I'll be honest, I almost did not record this today. I had the thought, I've already talked about this. I don't have anything new to say. What am I going to say this week? But I also usually get very excited about recording and, can't wait to talk to you guys about things. And then I received a quiet confirmation that reminded me why this space exists in the first place. And it was a simple comment, a moment of connection, a reminder that this part matters too. Not just the breakthroughs, but also the in between, the very human, sometimes mundane stuff that we go through, right? And of course, my own healing matters here too. Okay. Now, last week we talked about trusting divine timing when everything seems to hit at once. And I was talking a little bit about how everything was hitting me at once. And the truth is, I'm still in that energy. I'm not on the other side of it yet. So there's no big reveal today or aha moment for you. And I think that honestly is important too. So, one of the quieter shadows we don't talk about enough, I guess, is that pressure to always have an insight ready, to turn every challenge into a lesson immediately, or to spiritualize our way out of discomfort instead of letting ourselves be human inside of it. And sometimes the work isn't digging deeper, sometimes it's not forcing clarity. You can be doing the work and still feel overwhelmed. You can be aligned and still feel strained. You can trust divine timing and still be tired. Okay. And this week I'm tired, you guys. No joke. I am tired. So aligned does not mean perfect. And that's something we really have ingrained in us and it needs to be let go of. So someone needs to hear this. And instead of trying to fix or analyze everything, I've been really practicing something simpler, envisioning. And I've been doing this every night, just envisioning how it would feel if things just fell into place. Not focusing or stressing on the details, not the timeline, not even the how, just how it would feel, that feeling of relief, steadiness, flow. And I made a conscious choice to surrender, not to grip it tightly, not to, just I gave my spirit team permission to act on my behalf in ways I might not be able to see yet. And maybe that's the part that somebody really needs to hear today. Okay, so if you're in a season where you've already reflected, you've already processed, you've been asking the questions and doing the work, and life just hasn't quite shifted yet. So maybe your physical reality isn't quite matching up. Okay, it doesn't mean that you necessarily missed something. So you could be in a holding phase, and the holding phase is not a failure, and it's not laziness, it's not stagnation. It is part of the work. Surrender is part of the work. Okay, so even if it doesn't look productive, trust the process. It's really, really hard as humans to do that sometimes, and I completely understand. So if this resonates with you, definitely let me know in the comments. That's where I am this week, and I'm just being honest with you guys. So here's a gentle reflection to sit with, nothing for you to solve. So some things to kind of ask yourself, where am I pressuring myself to be done with something that's still unfolding? Where have I mistaken endurance for failure. And what would it feel like? This is a big one. What would it feel like to let this season remain unfinished without judging myself for it? Okay, and that's again really hard to do too as humans, because we want to judge ourselves when things don't go right, and we want to blame either ourselves or some external force, right? So before we close, I got a message for you coming through from Spirit. You are not late. You are not behind. And you are not being tested for a missing lesson. What is unresolved is not wrong. What feels heavy is not misalignment. And surrender is not giving up. It's creating space for support. That support that you're so asking for, so wishing for, so praying for, and so much feel like you want and need, sometimes cannot come in unless you surrender and trust the process. Let go of the how, let go of the why, let go of all the little details, and just trust that it will fall into place and you will be okay. Okay. There is movement happening beyond what you can see, and you do not need to force it into form. Okay. And if you feel called, you can repeat this affirmation with me silently or out loud. I trust myself even when the answers aren't clear. I allow my healing to unfold without pressure. I am supported and protected even when things are unfinished. I am safe to let things come together in their own time. Thank you so much for being here and for honoring yourself exactly where you are, not where you think you should be. And please remember to like and subscribe to keep supporting the channel. Sending you light, love, and healing, and I hope this helps.